Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhoads on the Buy Here Pay Here Morning Show. Take it away, you two.
Everybody,
and
good
we're
morning.
live on your White Hat Wednesday.
I know it is Wednesday. I was watching this. There's this couple that I follow on Facebook, and they're super funny, and they're always doing really, really funny videos. And she did a video. I think it's the Holderness family.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
seen those. Yeah.
And she did a really funny video on the week between Christmas and New Year's, and how it's like, well, what day is it?
Yeah.
Kids are home, all of that. And it was hilarious because she's like, yeah, I'm wearing the same clothes, but I don't have food on mine. So go change your shirt.
Yeah. I'm sure some people are vacationing. There's probably a lot of people probably listening to us in the
Yep.
Bahamas. But don't you think people would, even on vacation,
I
they're
would.
probably going to want to listen
I
to
would.
us
I
from
would
the
listen
beach.
from the beach.
From the beach. Everybody wants to think about buy here, pay here when they're on the beach in the Bahamas.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm sure people are away. I mean, it's kind of the quiet time in between the holidays, and so it's a relaxing thing. A lot of places are closed. Businesses are
most
closed.
of our kids have time off, and
Yeah.
they and what the cool thing is in today's world, especially if they're working for bigger corporations and stuff, it's like it's a paid week off,
Right.
and it's like that's a nice Christmas gift.
Sure.
It's a really, really nice
It really
Christmas
is.
gift. Friday is our last broadcast for 2023, and so we will be doing a recap, and we're not going to have all of the guests like we did last year. But we're gonna do a little recap and might show some clips of some of our favorite episodes and just kind of talk about some of the things that we accomplished in the last year, which is a lot.
There's a lot that's happened.
There's a lot that's happened, and then the following Monday, we don't have exactly our topics set. But there's some shifting that's going to be happening on our format and some things that we're going to be launching next week. So I'm thinking it might be on Monday. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We'll see. We just don't want to do it until we're ready.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Fred.
Lenartz. I said his name wrong before, so I think it's Lenartz.
Yeah.
But yeah, so glad a former guest on the show and a podcaster himself. And so glad to have you tuned in, probably from the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah, right. Or at least by his pool, even though it's cold and the pool's probably covered. So our episode on Monday was a recorded broadcast. Jim and I were wearing our Christmas hats, and we presented a gift to dealers. And I haven't posted that on our syndicated podcast stations yet. So those of you who listen to that, it'll be a little bit late. It's going to happen today.
Right. But we announced on Monday that we were, as a gift to dealers, we were introducing our then active Facebook group specifically for dealer principals. And I say then active. It's active now. People are starting to get registered or admitted into the group. We have a survey or a questionnaire that we have asked dealers to complete before joining the group.
Do you want me to share that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So it's been kind of a clumsy start in the group because
there were a couple of settings that Jim didn't have. I
still don't really know how to fix it.
And
I sent about 75 invitations to dealers, and turned out when they accepted the invitation, they just got a fast pass right into the group.
Straight in without having to take the survey. So so I'm just gonna share with y'all what the survey questions are. So that those of you who are out there listening land will know whether or not this is something that might fit for you.
So again, this group is aimed at principals only, and it's been interesting. Just the dialogue that's happened in the group already has been interesting to see. Okay, this is going to be a real test of, can this be a value add for dealers? And we know it can be, right? It's just a question of, how well the format's going to work. But the way I'm thinking about it, Michelle, is like, it's no different than if you have 5 dealers sitting at a table at a conference and they're just chatting with one another about whatever. Like it's open discussion. So what we're trying to create with this group, or what we have created, is just a format where people will be able to speak freely.
And just so you know, I mean, this is something that we are hosting,
right?
But we are not in there necessarily adding. But we're not moderating really as much.
I mean,
unless it
there are
requires
no other
some,
administrators, so it's us.
Yeah,
But
so it's
yeah,
just
I mean,
us.
we just know that, and we said already in the group, like, we don't want to have to police the group a lot. Like, we set it up. We're happy to create the platform for everybody where they can speak with
I've dealers we've spoken with. It's this is something that it's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, because there's not a lot of places for dealers to be able to go, because there's two things that this group has not.
Okay.
One is vendor or industry affiliates.
Right.
We will not be inviting any vendor or industry affiliates, and so that way too, that dealers can have an open, frank conversation about whatever it is that they want to talk about, and also that managers or anyone that would stand in for the dealer principal is not going to be in the group.
Right.
Too.
Yeah. There's certain things that we will definitely, find necessary to enforce. And we're making sure everybody understands.
The reason is because it's like the dealer principal is the one that, it's like the bottom line. I mean, it's like the buck stops here. There's sometimes hard decisions that need to be made that don't need to be broadcasted. I mean, pay plans.
That's the big one. That's the easy one that comes to mind. And people have already mentioned that in the group. Like, being able to discuss pay plans is something that's it's hard to find an environment. And look, obviously people that are in a 20 group, they typically have a chat forum inside a 20 group. And that's very helpful to them. But we also know that, if you added up all the 20 group members in the country, it might represent, 5%, certainly less than 10% of all dealers, in the buy here, pay here, lease here, pay here segment. So we just know that there's a ton of dealers that don't have that opportunity, that platform. So we're just trying to open it up where folks can, hear from other dealers, ask their questions, offer mentorship. And so, maybe we just go through I thought it might be helpful for folks to understand the survey questions, because that'll give them an idea kind of why
does your name appear on the vehicle dealer's license for at least one of your company locations. So that's because we will, if we don't know you, we will be asking for a copy of your dealer's license. We also ask if any of them know us personally. And so please select all above if you agree to each of these items here. Before before posting new questions, try to always use the search feature to see if the topic or question is already active in the group. Never use this group thread for requesting repo assistance.
We just kind of keep that clean.
And I've seen there's some different groups that people have been popping up for that kind of thing, because I think that it's been bothersome on other things too. Be courteous and respectful, especially considering that even the most experienced dealers were once new. Always strive to be very specific when discussing dollar figures, ratios, etc., to promote better mentorship, because this is something that we are hoping that we can mentor, that the dealers can mentor each other in this.
Right.
Avoid offering anything that might be constructed as legal advice, because we're not, we're not attorneys, and
you're not attorneys.
Unless you are an attorney and you can show, never allow anyone to use your Facebook profile or credentials to access this group. Pledge to hold as confidential any private information expressed by other dealer members, and if required, supply a copy of the dealer's license. And this was just a funny that Jim's like, Jim and Michelle are pretty sensitive, so don't say hateful or mean things.
Never say mean things about the hosts. So, and if you say yes, I agree to all the above, then that's then you
this
can
doesn't want to let me go.
Okay,
I'm gonna go just through here. Roads, so we can see how this
it's making you answer.
It's making me answer before it'll let me move on to the next thing.
No kidding. Okay.
Yep, which is fine. Actually, I'm going to do all the above, and then we'll go next.
Next takes you into the next section. We'll start to get profile
info. How many years have you personally been in the business? Not your dealership, but you.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of people out there that have been in the buy here, pay here, lease here business for 10 years before they opened up their own because they worked for someone
That's
else or
true.
whatever. So it's
And I
like,
think,
what kind of
you don't probably
experience?
have to go through all the
Yeah.
questions here as much as it just to give folks an idea. We want to capture profile information about the dealers at the
Mhm.
time that they come in so that we'll be able to share with the group what the composition of the
Yeah.
group is, you know?
Mix of business, portfolio size. There was one up here. How many locations?
Mhm. Portfolio size and
Portfolio
dollars and
size and dollars and
accounts.
accounts. Average monthly sales volume.
And
Yeah.
just
And
ideas
then
that
just
you may bring
ideas.
to the
So
group, ways that we can make the group more
yeah.
valuable to others. But yeah, that's kind of the
Yeah.
idea there. So just be able to make sure, one, that everybody understands the group rules. We just use the form to the questionnaire as a way to deliver the
Mhm.
group rules instead of doing it inside the Facebook group. And of course, our longtime friend Tommy Brandis is probably over chuckling at us because he's been administering a group for many years, and so this is kind of new territory for us. But we're like I said, it was off to kind of a clumsy start with the thing about letting some people in, but we already announced to them, look, if you don't fill out the questionnaire by the 31st, then
Yeah.
we're going to have to pull you from the group temporarily until you get that
Yeah.
submitted.
So I have posted the link for the survey. So anyone that is listening to this that would like to be able to take, like to be able to be a part of the group, please fill out the survey, because even the ones that are sitting in there that haven't done it yet because he invited them, they will have to by the end of the year or
Yeah.
they'll be removed. So
temporarily
temporarily
until they get that
Yeah.
filled out. So we just kind of make sure everybody plays by the same set of rules. And it's part of why, we want to talk about this on a White Hat Wednesday because, one, we just barely mentioned it on our Monday show, and we wanted to give the expanded explanation. And we feel like White Hat Way can serve
Mhm.
as a good host here because we're just going to maintain a level conversation where we're going to allow dealers to speak freely to other dealers. And so this is something that will
Mhm.
we'll create that environment. We'll make sure to do the best we can to police and make sure we don't have folks from outside that. And I
Yeah.
think dealers can rely on us to make sure that happens.
It's kind of also excuse me, what we're hoping to accomplish. We're huge advocates for going to your national conference and your state conference, and part of the reason why we're really big advocates for that is not only education and all that, but there's something that happens at a conference that can be really magical, and that's when you just witness around a table or whatever, dealers talking to each other
Mhm.
and openly talking to each other, and having some very rich dialogue. And not every dealer out there has, I get teased frequently because when I've referred to most of the conferences, it's like it seems like the golden 500, and it's growing, which I'm so grateful for. But there's certain dealer group that is always there, and because they know how rich it can be and all that, but not everyone can attend the conferences. And so we're trying to create a platform where dealers can interact and connect and have those conversations, like what's worked for you and how, and all of that. So this is really, it's kind of us trying to create a digital way for you to be able to do that.
Mhm.
And have just a really a meaningful dialogue with each other.
Yeah. And just by making sure that that you're safe inside
Mhm.
a group of only other dealers. If you just think about all the ways that this group will come into play.
Mhm.
It's like if you're a dealer who's facing a decision to change software, or you're
Mhm.
you're looking for a lender, or whatever the case
Uh-huh.
may be, there's going to
Like
be ways for us to now have a conversation, ask the question like, what's been your experience, and so on. So this will be just an opportunity for dealers to. I
Mhm.
mean, don't need to restate it. It's dealers talking to dealers. That's
dealers
it.
talking to dealers.
Yep.
And then the only thing that we're really there for primarily is to maybe drive a conversation, is like ask a question and get a
Mhm.
conversation started, or just to make sure that people in there are supposed to be in there, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Make sure if somebody doesn't play by the rules, we got a big hook that can pull them out. So you got to play by the
Mwah,
rules.
mwah,
Yeah.
mwah.
We got that sound effect here somewhere.
We do
Is that-
somewhere.
Look at that.
There you go.
So No, that's kind of what, and again, we thought just White Hat Way, it makes sense for White Hat Way to play that role and just be a host and create a platform that people can, get value from. So we're excited about it. We're looking forward to, getting that group built up. And obviously as it grows, it'll be more and more value, more and more mentorship. And we're asking dealers to bring the same mentality to that group that I've had in some of the networking and business groups that I've been a part of, where it's clear when you come in that there's a spirit of giving, a spirit of generous mentorship to help others,
and trust.
Yeah. And so, so that's part of why we create that culture, create that environment there. And when people come in and they're able to freely give, and not to say there aren't opportunities, it's just that there are some subjects that dealers just really only want to discuss with other dealers.
Yeah. And they're the kind of subjects that most of the time dealers don't have a place to talk to other dealers about, unless you specifically know other dealers or you're going to a conference or other groups like that. So this is just, what we're really trying to do again is to give dealers the opportunity to have those meaningful conversations and connections where they can speak freely.
Yeah. So I think we covered that. I think we have a little bit of time left if you have anything else you want to get to, but I think
I really don't. I'm gonna, the next one on Friday, like again, we're gonna do a recap. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of the things that we've got coming up, and I'm just letting y'all know, I'm not gonna let any cats out of any bags or anything like that. But next year for White Hat Way, and those of you who know, this is White Hat Wednesday. Those of you who understand White Hat Way, next year is going to be a very big year for White Hat Way. And we are so, so, so excited. This is
exciting.
And I'm getting teary because that's what I do. He just goes deadpan, and I just like, but we are really, really excited for what this is going to be able to bring to dealers and dealerships,
one
and
of the
customers
things coming
and
up,
everybody.
The couple things on the horizon with the morning show. First of all, I got to just say we got Brent Carmichael coming on the 12th of January to talk about. And we're gonna drill into overhead. You guys want to circle January 12th on your calendar, because we're going to get quite specific about overhead.
Yeah, overhead is like when we do cash flow modeling. Or when we're working with a dealer, we talk about a lot of the financial stuff, but the overhead is not something we really typically dive deeply into, unless we're like, there's a huge disconnect. What's happening? How much are you spending? And all that. But we're going to have a conversation with Brent about it.
Yeah. And I just see that, overhead varies quite a lot from dealer to dealer. So if somebody's asking about where to find the group, you might want to show that tile. So just go to Facebook and search for the Facebook group and just ask to join. When you ask to join, we'll send you the questionnaire.
So it's not vetted first. It's principals only dealer group. And then you should be able to find
just principals only dealer group. And then you can also just take, if you have the form that Michelle just shared, the Google form.
The Google form did not share on it's shared on our site. So Buy Here Pay Nation Television, White Hat Way, Jim Rhoads, person
profile.
Actually, no, Jim Rhoads profile is on YouTube. It was
Buy Here Pay Your Morning Show.
Buy Here Pay Your Morning Show
page,
podcast page.
There. But bottom line is, you can just, if you find it there, you can just ask to join, and then when you do, we'll send you the form, the basically the little questionnaire. When we get the results back, the questionnaire, the answers back, then we'll send you the invitation to join. So or to admission rather. So that's
or you can go to the Facebook group and just request. And then
So back to upcoming episodes. I just know that we're going to have some announcements here at the close of the year, and we're going to name some White Hat dealers for 2023.
Honorary White Hat dealers for 2023.
At least one more White Hat ambassador for the close of the year here. So that stuff is around the corner as well. And then we have we're working to bring together now a conversation amongst the state association. So that's among the other things we got to figure out how to get that on the calendar and how to get that conversation figured out. But we're working to get that done as we start into 2024. So all those things are on the horizon, and we continue to work to bring information, and we just remind all the dealers out there, listeners, if you have a topic that you want to see us bring, shoot it to us, and we'll be happy to. We've got a list of things that we look to bring, and as we talk about, there's always something new in our segment, new tips, and
there is,
and new folks to hear from. So we'll continue to do the thing.
Anything else?
No, I think we should wrap up.
We're going to wrap up. It seems like we started with a 30-minute format, and there's so many times that we go like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, just because there's some really deep stuff. But we're gonna cut it short today. So this is a quick one. Join us on Friday again. It's going to be our recap of 2023. It's been a fantastic year. A lot of great things have happened. And a couple of these are some of the things that we intend for 2024, but not all of the stuff, but just kind of some overall things that we're working on. And just want you guys all to know how grateful we are to you and for how you enrich this broadcast and a lot of the other things that we're working to do to be able to bring quality education and a beautiful place for people to connect so that we can be better.
We're going to keep working on that community.
We certainly are.
All
hey,
right,
everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great afternoon, and we will see you on Friday. Thanks so much.